Moshe Rabbeinu literally grew up in a palace with Paro. Moshe Rabbeinu had everything he needed. He was in the palace with the king of Egypt. You know what it means to be king of Egypt? He was a super empire of the world at the time. All the money in the world, all the wealth, all the pleasure, whatever you want. And Moshe Rabbeinu was there and he was safe. What does Moshe Rabbeinu do? The Torah tells us he knew he was Jewish. Moshe Rabbeinu leaves the palace, out of his comfort zone. He leaves the palace. And he wants to see, how are my Jewish brothers and sisters, how they're doing right now, unfortunately, in slavery. He went out of his way. You know what it means to leave a comfort zone like a palace like Moshe Rabbeinu? And the Midrash goes on, when Moshe Rabbeinu left the palace, he wasn't just watching from above and just preaching to them. He actually went inside when he saw, for example, the Midrash says, when he saw Jewish slaves being pulled by metal bars around their necks, Moshe Rabbeinu will put his neck also under the bar and say, I want to be part of you, I'm also a Jew. And when he saw a Jew carrying a very, very heavy rock, Moshe Rabbeinu tried helping him out to make sure it's more comfortable for him. Moshe Rabbeinu put his life on the line. Even though he left the palace, he was close to Paro, he put his life on the line to protect other Jews. Moshe Rabbeinu, says the Midrash, took his crown, put it on the floor and said, I want to be with my Jewish brothers and sisters. I want to be with the Am. That's a tremendous lesson. Imagine a person has everything he needs. He made it all the way to the top of the culture of the community of the world. He's the wealthiest guy. He comes from a poor family. This guy made it all to the top. He forgets everyone around him. He forgets his community. He becomes a Baal Ga'ava. He has huge ego. He says, nah, these guys are lower classes. They're not my people. People can forget about where they come from. And more than that, people don't want to leave their comfort zone where they're so comfortable like Moshe Rabbeinu. But the Torah tells us Moshe Rabbeinu did the opposite. He left his nuchut, he left his comfort to go help out other Jews, to go be mishtatef, to take part of the tsar, of the pain of Klal Yisrael, Egypt at the time. Moshe Rabbeinu is a tremendous lesson. Our job as Yehudim, and I'm talking to myself, our job as Jews after what's going on after the war, and as we speak, it's still extremely dangerous, unfortunately. Our job as Yehudim is to leave the comfort zone for other Yehudim, for other Jewish people. Just because we don't live in Israel, just because we're not near Gaza, just because we're not IDF soldiers as we speak, does not mean we're not part of this war. We are 100% part of this war. And our job is to be like Moshe Rabbeinu. Leave the comfort zone, I'm talking to myself, and take action for Amcha Bet Israel, for other Jewish brothers and sisters.